Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, and tonight you landed on that mothership. The mothership is back in full effect, and we're flying over the planet. And I just picked some Earthlings up, and we're gonna help. They're gonna help me with this show. It's always a testament to every time that we do this show. We get some interesting stuff. And tonight, we're going to give you some interesting stuff. We've got Dynamite to talk about. We've got the Forbidden Door predictions, wrestling news, and I have introduced a new segment that I think you're going to love. So sit back and enjoy the ride here tonight on the wrestling experience because you just never know what's on this planet and this mothership. And as we get closer and closer to the Forbidden Door this Sunday at the UBS Arena in downtown Elmont, New York. Well, we're going to talk about that and so much more tonight here on a jam-packed edition of the Wrestling Experience, which is powered by and sponsored by the Hardcore Sports.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, The Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, The Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestling Experience. But I'm not here alone, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, no. I love this lovely lady. She is something else, nothing short of sensational. Every time we come together, we always laugh, we always have a good time, and she's always as that canty bed of that stew, that Dempsey stew. I'll tell you this much: when it's called for, she'll bring it on to make you have a good time with it. Her friend Bestie, who's her dentist, please tell me what's going on in it's let's add it to the story.
Hi, Earl. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy Friday Eve.
Yes, and we have a major announcement that I have to make here today. Me and Sarah will be taking a 2-week hiatus off the wrestling experience. Sarah's going to enjoy the 4th of July as well as I am. And then, of course, after Money in the Bank, I'm going on vacation. So, the wrestling experience will be off for 2 weeks. But we will be back, me and Sarah will be back in full effect on July 18th. And that is when we will welcome Orange Cassidy's bestie, Mitchowski, will return to the wrestling experience on Thursday, July the 18th, and we're going to have it. Now, Sarah, don't forget, we start at 8:05 We start at 8:05 as we beam this Earthling aboard this mothership. And Mitch is going to help us. Mitch is going to help us rewind Money in the Bank. And he's going to help us with Dynamite. All of that potpourri of action. Just for you. Just for you. Here, don't forget, we will return. Me and Sarah will return with the Wrestling Experience on July the 18th. So don't forget when it's July 18th. Mark it down on your calendar. And don't forget, this lovely Sarah will bring you the Queens of the Ring. The Queens of the Ring will happen on Tuesday night, the 16th of July. The 16th of July. Yes, the Queens of the Ring will return to the airwaves. Now, I'm not going to be on the Queens of the Ring until August, but we'll give you those details as soon as it becomes available. So anyway, guys, before we begin, I just want to let you know that you need to follow them on Instagram at Hardcore Sports. Follow them on Facebook at Hardcore Sports. Follow them on X at Hardcore Sports. Follow them on Spotify at Hardcore Sports. Follow them on TikTok at Hardcore Sports. And of course, subscribe to their YouTube channel. And hit that like button. Hit that like button on my channel. Hit the like button on Hardcore Sports. And we hope you have a great Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening here at the Hardcore Sports Network. Thank you so much.
Good job, Earl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and energy. Thank you so much. So we have a new segment here at the Wrestling Experience, and I thought that this is going to be fun. And I'm going to ask Sarah and just see if she likes this. The segment is called "Do You Agree with His Assessment?" Now, what this means is I'm going to read a quote. And I'm going to ask Sarah, and if we do have a guest, we're going to ask the guest too. Do you agree with this assessment? Okay. So here's the first quote of the night, and we're going to. Now this is coming from Sportskeeda, the Wrestling Legend podcast. Sportskeeda got this from the legendary wrestling podcast. Vince Russo shared why he doesn't like Sami Zayn. According to the Raw's head writer, the Canadian looks like a Slav instead of a champion due to the way he's dressed and presents himself. Now, Sarah, let me ask you something. Do you agree with Vince Russo's assessment?
Kind of like half and half. I do agree in that, with constantly wearing sweatpants always to the ring, and it doesn't look very professional. However, I remember I brought this up a while ago, and you said that it's because Sami Zayn has to pack very, very light because he needs to be able to fly out at a moment's notice, being that he's an Intercontinental Champion. So it definitely definitely makes sense. So I kind of agree with that. I don't think it's a reason to not like him, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, something I always, they said that clothes makes the man. But here's the thing. There are different people that are not suit-worthy people. They just don't like suits. Nobody likes to dress in a corporate suit. There's a lot of people that don't dress in corporate suits. I know my ex-boss, he never liked a suit. He never liked it. He hated wearing suits. But when he's in the room with a CEO or a CFO, you definitely would have to wear a suit. You definitely would have to put a suit on because that's an important person of the company. And they're there for a visit. They're not, so you got to look your best. I'm not a suit person myself, but if I have to dress up for something, Like if somebody invited me to a cocktail party and there's important people in the room, I want to put my best foot forward and I want to look, presentable. I'm not going to come in there with a blue jeans or something like that. I'm not going to wear that. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to give my first impression. So there's a lot
Oh,
of people that, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't like to be dressed up. They just don't. They're not that kind of way. They feel comfortable wearing whatever they wear in the closet, and that's it. As long as it's pressed and it's laundered, and that's what they want to wear. But I don't think that like Sarah said brilliantly. I don't think that's the reason to hate him. I don't dislike Sarah. Now I'm gonna have to disagree with that assessment because if you all saw the induction ceremony, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Sami Zayn wore a suit. He wore a suit. He put on a suit because when the WWE talent got the memo, they told the talent this is evening attire, which means you would have to wear an evening attire. It's just like if me and Sarah went to a cocktail party, Sarah would have to wear an evening gown, and I would have to wear something nice because you don't know who's gonna look at you. You don't know who's coming in the room, and you have no idea who you're talking to. Uh,
bingo.
you don't know who you're
Bingo.
talking to. You don't know who you're talking to. This
Well,
could be
I
your next
mean,
stop. I mean, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I was gonna say, I mean, look at what Roman was wearing to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. When
Right,
he was inducting Paul Heyman, and
right.
it looked to me like he was wearing a plain black T-shirt with a sport coat over it. Perfectly acceptable. That's fine.
Right.
That's fine. And I'm wondering if this opinion of his is perhaps, he's part of the older generation where, in wrestling, where they didn't dress the way Sami Zayn dresses. On the flip side of that, I also feel that people need to wear what they feel comfortable in, what they feel confident in. And I think being comfortable in your own skin, in feeling confident in that is just going to come across even better, on TV. But I definitely do not think that's a reason to hate somebody or not like somebody simply because of the way they dress. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said before, there is a lot of guys that I know. Nick is one of them too. Nick doesn't dress up. He doesn't like dressing up. There's a lot of people that don't like dressing up, but we can't force them to dress. But listen. I'll tell you this much: everybody knows right from wrong. Everybody knows right from wrong. You know the protocols when you go into a fancy party. You know that you have to get a dress. I'm
Hmm.
not saying go in there with a tiara on and all of this and everybody comes there and they're throwing flowers at you. I'm not saying that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. But what I am saying is that you want to put your best foot forward because like I said in the beginning of my conversation, you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know who you're dealing with and you don't know who you're walking into. You know?
You
You know,
never know who you're gonna run into.
you never know. You never know. My last job, my last job, I got it at a cocktail party.
Oh wow.
I got it at a cocktail party just by having a conversation with my boss's wife.
Oh wow. See?
You see what I mean? You never know who you're talking to. You just never know who you're talking
So
to.
true.
Yeah. I mean, she sent me an email and she told me to send me my resume. I sent her the resume, and before you know it, in the interview, 3 interviews later, I had the position. Mm.
See, now that's awesome. And it's
See,
because you put your best foot forward right from
And exactly right. Exactly. And I had no idea that was his wife. I had no idea. I had no clue. Uh,
yeah. I mean, you don't know who you're going to run into. You want to definitely, make sure that you're leaving a good impression right off
Right.
the jump, right from the jump. So, look
Exactly.
at Cody Rhodes. I mean, Cody Rhodes wears a suit everywhere. Like for me,
Right.
I would not want to do that. But luckily, we can be dressed casually at work, where I work. But if I I would know for sure if I was going to be in a meeting with, some of the executives, I would have to put on dress pants and
Right.
appropriate shoes and a blouse and
Right.
blazer and
Exactly. Exactly. Because you just never know. You just never know when
yeah,
you're going to get that promotion. You never know when that's going to happen. And you could be kicking yourself later by saying, "Oh my God, if I would have only dressed better and just put myself foot forward, I would have gotten that promotion. I would have gotten that
yes,
job. I would have, and it would have been eating you up inside. It would eat you up because you
yeah.
dropped the ball. You dropped the ball because you could have had something lucrative there.
So you'd be
So
playing
that's
the what
the
if game.
Right, exactly, and so that is a testament. That is a testament. That's
Yeah,
why. So
yeah.
yeah,
This
I would.
this is Ram. He said it
I
must be
ran.
morning. It must be morning in Australia. He said, "Good morning, Earl brother and Sarah sis." And then he says, "What
Thank
did he
you.
say?" From Mount Bao Bao, very snowy here. He said it's very snowy where he's at. Oh my goodness.
Well, Rev, do me a favor. Pick up some of that snow and just dump it on there. Not too much, but just a little bit so we can cool down. Anyway,
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Oh, it's been ridiculous lately.
I know. Again, Sarah has that swinging door. That swinging
Yes.
door, and I love that. Madahasa. Oh, the June bugs are
Right?
jumping to
Oh
the
my
June bugs
god.
are jump. Oh, Sarah, tonight the June bugs are jumping now. Oh, give me some of that lemonade with vanilla extract. Anyway,
It is
ladies and gentlemen,
too it is too hot to be sitting
you
outside.
exactly,
No. No.
exactly. No,
As
no,
I
no.
say, I hate summer. The only good part for me, I don't deal well with the heat and humidity. So I I always say the only good thing about summer is the fact we don't get snow. It's the only good thing.
Right,
Don't like the hot temperatures. So I could never
right,
live like down where Denise lives in Florida. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm.
right.
Nope.
No,
Nope. Nope. Nope.
no, no can do. Um,
Nope.
uh,
And we have
Daniel
Daniel
Berry the
Berry
Sports.
Sports.
Hi, Daniel Berry the Sports. How are you tonight? Stay cool, Daniel Berry the Sports. Thank you so much for your comments and
Yeah.
your energy. And thank you to everyone that's in the chat. Please make sure that you hit that like button. Hit the like button if you like what you see. Hit that like button. And don't forget, this show will be uploaded on Spotify. This show will be on
Woo.
Spotify. Don't forget, this show will be uploaded on Spotify and all social media platforms. And if you want to see yourself, as I told Sarah many times over, if you want to see yourself on the wrestling experience, all you gotta do is go on my channel or the Hardcore Sports, look at yourself. And I'll tell you this much, you'll guarantee yourself a belly laugh when you come off this mothership. Because it is a testament of what we do here on the Hardcore Sports. And like I always said, if you miss a day, you miss a lot here in the Hardcore Sports. It is a testament, and it is true. And it is true. So
Very
what
much.
we're gonna do right now is we're gonna discuss the Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door the Forbidden Door will happen this Sunday at 7:50 Eastern Daylight Standard Time. It'll be me. He's got the round up. He's got the round up. Make the giant usually will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yes, it will. We're going to take this car to the Bull of the Woods.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this first match. It's for the ladder match. It's for the vacant TNT title. We got Takeshita, Briscoe, Perry, Dante Barton, Leo Rush, and one more to be announced. Um, the match is going to be fine. The match is going to be fine. Is what I do. Now, again, like I said, the only stinker about this match, Sarah, is that Mr. Perry is going to go up that ladder and he's going to become the new TBS champion. I don't
Oh,
like this at all.
no, no, no. He hasn't done anything of note. He has not done anything to deserve the title, much less a shot at the title. And it would not surprise me one single bit if the rest of the elite came down and interfered and helped him win. I would not be surprised. And it's pretty sad.
Yeah, this kid, he just came back after walking on an AEW after all of that problem we had 8 months ago, and then he comes back. He comes back, and now he's just going to get handed a title. I think that that's not right. I don't find that to be politically correct. I think he needs to earn it, just like
Well, it's
everybody else.
rotten, and it's quite insulting to the rest of the gentlemen in that match. It's
It is.
insulting to them.
It is because I mean we could have had either Mark Briscoe or Dante Martin or Leo Rush could have won the TBS champ, and I would have been fine with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially Dante Martin. Dante Martin broke his ankle in a
I
ladder
like
match like
him.
this. Yes, and they owe him several receipts, and I think he should be the one to climb up that ladder and take down that belt.
Yeah, I agree.
Wesley, how are you?
Hi, Wesley.
Hey Wesley, how you doing? Um, it's just that that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. Now, if you all feel differently, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with your thought process. I'm not going to trample on your thought process. But in my opinion, in my heart of hearts, I think that Dante Martin should be the one to win the TBS championship, and I wouldn't have an issue with it.
No, not at all.
I wouldn't have an issue with it. If he can just grab that greasy hair and just pull him down off that ladder and just go up that old dry up timber here that he's got there. Just
Right?
just grab it. Just grab it. And just pull him down off of that ladder and go up there and go climb up to the success and pull that thing down. Pull it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one bit.
No.
Any I honestly would not mind any of those other people that in the match that you had mentioned. I wouldn't care if any of the rest of them got the title. I
Right.
don't think Mark Briscoe would, just because he's already the Ring of Honor champion.
Right.
But I mean, they've had double champions before. Look at Kenny Omega. He had 6 belts at one time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think Mark Briscoe, I don't think it would be realistic for him to win, but I always like seeing Mark Briscoe. I just think it's fun to watch him. So,
Yeah,
um,
I think
but
he's fun.
I think Dante Martin is a really good choice. He's young,
Yes.
he's up and coming. Every
Yes.
match that I've seen that he's been in, he doesn't have bad match. He doesn't have bad
No.
matches. He always
No.
performs. He's consistent and he's great. He's wonderful. So,
Again, like I said, I would like to see him win
oh
this
yeah,
match. I want to see him win the. Because let me tell you something. Dante Martin and his brother have been a loyalist to Tony Khan and his organization. He's been in there for a long time. He's been in some very good high profile matches. And I think it would be a shame if Tony Khan doesn't open his eyes and look at what the potential he has in Dante Martin. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna even though Jack Perry's gonna win this match, I'm gonna go against the grain. Yeah, I'm gonna say Dante Martin wins this ladder match and he becomes the new TBS champion. That's what I want to see.
Oh, I would love that. I would love
I
that.
that's what I would love. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And I won't settle for anything less, even though we will get less. But
Yeah,
anyway,
a lot less.
right, right,
It's gonna be a lot less.
right.
Unfortunately.
So, all right, let's talk about this. Tony Storm will take on Mina, for the TV for the time. Again, Tony Storm has been winning her matches on pay per view and retaining her title.
Yep.
This I guess this is not going to be any different. Sarah, what do you think?
Oh yeah, Mina Shirakawa is not winning that title. I'm sorry. She's just not. Um there's no way they're gonna bring somebody in to AEW, with the exception of Mercedes Moné, um, and have her first or second, I guess, match be her winning the title. That's not happening. They're not going to give her the women's heavy, world title. That's not happening. So, um, I think that it's going to be interesting to see everything play out, considering what we saw last night on Dynamite with her breaking that bottle of champagne over Mariah May's head, hitting her in the head and breaking that champagne bottle. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yep, exactly. Um,
So yeah, I got
yeah,
Tony Storm's definitely retaining.
yeah. Tony Storm is going to retain, and again, like I said, she's always a rise to the occasion, and she is going to retain. She's going to retain that title. Now, at All in London, here's what I think should happen. I think we should have the return of either Britt Baker or or somebody else who's been on the shelf.
Oh,
Jamie
Jamie Hayter?
Hayter. Jamie Hayter. Yes, either one of
That
those
is really
women.
cool.
Yeah, either one of those women should come back to AEW and challenge Tony Storm for that title at All in Wembley, and then that is when we will get a brand new women's champion
Yeah.
at All In.
Yeah, and for the love of God, do not put that title on Mercedes. Like,
Oh
please
no, come
don't.
on, no, come on, no. I want to see either Jamie Hayter or Britt Baker come back. Hold on one second. I forgot. I did mention her. Britt Baker. It is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. You- if you all
I miss
remember,
being able to do that. I
yeah,
do. I miss
if you
being
want,
able to
if
do
you
that.
if you all remember when on my show, there are people that fought me on it because they didn't want to do it, and a certain redhead didn't want to do it, but I told her to do it. I told her to do it.
You're just doing your finger. Come on now.
Oh, God.
It's not that big of a
No,
deal.
I was like, no, wait, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I remember I did that with Jeffrey, and he was like, wait a minute, what did I say wrong? I said, you didn't say anything wrong. You mentioned her, and I said, now, they delude me. Stay with me, Jeffrey. It is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And that is a must on my show. It's a must. It's one of the
I mean,
requirements.
have you heard anything about what is keeping her out?
I don't know. I don't know what the story is. I don't know what the story is. I haven't had any updates. I haven't seen anything on the internet. I haven't seen anything. It is very bizarre why she's been left on the cutting room floor, but I don't know when she's coming back. No idea. No idea what her injury is. I don't know what her issues are. I don't know. Uh, I, I
God.
I find it to be very odd myself. Um. So, um, yeah. So either one of those women, like I said, like I mentioned, either one of those women, Hayter or Britt Baker, needs to come back, and they need to come back and challenge Storm, and that is when we're going to get a new title holder. That's when we're going to get it at all in. Yes, I agree with that. Zack Sabre Jr. takes on Orange Cassidy. This cost is nasty. Orange Cassidy.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Orange Cassidy's nasty. Sarah likes when I do those voice
Oh
things.
my
You know
God.
what my foot did. So, the match is gonna be fun. The matches are gonna be. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing though with this match. Is Trent Beretta gonna interfere in this match? That's a
Oh,
great
everyone put it
question.
past them.
That's a great question.
I think
That's
the
a,
John
that's a,
Cleese family is going to be very busy on Sunday night.
yes, I think so too. I have a funny feeling. Yes, there's no place like the locker room. There's no place like the locker room.
I just think it was super duper funny. You always say that. And the last time we saw Don Callis, he was approaching Roosh in the locker room. Like, that
Right,
was right on
right.
par. It was so,
Right.
oh my gosh, that made me laugh.
There's no, yeah. Because. Anyway,
Imagine Don Callis being in the locker room. How about that?
right. How about that? And those shoes worked. Anyway, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God, those colorful shoes. He just looks so ridiculous.
um. So, anywho, um, Sarah, who's winning this match?
Yeah, I think Orange Cassidy is gonna end up winning it unless we have again Trent Beretta coming down, interfering, beating up Orange Cassidy, and that causes Zack Sabre Jr. to win. Um, Although it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. lost against Bryan Danielson the last time
Right.
he was in AEW. He lost against Bryan Danielson, so it wouldn't
Right.
surprise me if they gave this one to Zack Sabre Jr. And plus, Zack Sabre Jr.'s got a bunch of his people from his group from New Japan there. So, I mean, you could have those guys coming down interfering. You could have Don Callis' family and Trent Beretta coming down to interfere. You could have nobody interfere at all. But I do think Orange Cassidy is going to walk away with this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna say Orange Cassidy goes over in this match. I'm gonna say that with all certainty. You're right. I agree with that assessment. All right. The IWGP Heavyweight title is up for grabs. John Moxley will take on Naito.
Yeah, Naito. Oh man.
Naito. and Moxley. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This match, Moxley is a whirling dervish. And why I say that is because Moxley likes to use objects from the kitchen, including a fork. And,
Or
yeah.
skewers.
Or skewers, right? Or a cheese grater. Whatever's available. Whatever's available.
Works.
Mox, whatever works, Moxley uses it. He does. And with the fork, he's not giving you a dinner service. No. He's not setting the table with it. No.
No.
No, that's not what he's using it for. No. Moxley likes to see people busted open, just like himself. Moxley crosses his eyes and he's busted open. Anyway,
Right.
anyway, he just likes
Sure
being
seems
busted.
that way.
Exactly, he just likes being busted open. He likes being busted open. He does. So, Sarah, who's gonna win this match?
Mm, I think Naito might win it just so that John Moxley
Oh,
can be back in AEW more. Because he hasn't been around a whole lot because he's constantly out on the road defending this title. So I
right.
would be surprised if Moxley loses. It would not surprise me in the least.
Okay. I'm gonna say we're gonna get a surprise here. I think you're right. I think we're getting a new champion. I think we're gonna get a new champion. This match is gonna be good. I can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be great. All right, the TBS Championship. Okay, the AEW TBS Championship and New Japan Strong Style Championships are both up for grabs. It's Mercedes taking on Stephanie Backer. This is going to be very hard to call because here's the thing. Mercedes just won the TBS championship. And then they put her here in this Forbidden Door title for title. Now, like Sarah said, and I agree with her assessment, I don't think that this is fair to the IWGP Strong Style Champion. I don't think that this should have been title for title.
No.
I don't think it should have been title for title. I don't think so. I think that this match should have been a non-title affair.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It should have been a non-title affair, and it should be where both ladies fight to a time limit draw. I think that a time limit draw would work in this instance because then you would save both ladies. Nobody gets pinned. Nobody gets well. There's no problem with it. My only issue is, and what I have an issue with is, and what the problem is here is that you can't have Mercedes lose on her second match on a pay-per-view. So, what does that mean? Well, she's going to have the Strong Style Championship then.
Well, then why is only her second match a freaking pay-per-view? Why has she not been wrestling? This is crazy. So
I
you're just
know.
gonna ever bogart the title and not ever defend it? That's ridiculous. It's
I
absolutely
know.
ridiculous.
I
And it's
agree.
infuriating because, to be perfectly honest, I said this last night and I will continue to say this. I don't think Mercedes is half as good as she thinks she is in her own mind. And I know there's
Right.
lots of Mercedes fans out there. A lot of people really like her. That's perfectly fine. But to walk in and just walk around, pardon my language, walk around like your shit doesn't stink and like you're better than everybody else,
Right.
and then people calling her the greatest women's wrestler of all time, hardly. Not even close. Not even
No,
close.
I mean, I mean, okay, guys. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, when you use that word, when you use the word greatest, okay, you have to look at your vernacular when it comes to the wrestling lore of champions in history.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I'm going back to what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. First of all, when you all used to say Roman Reigns was the greatest champion, you now be careful what you say. Be careful what you say because you're spitting in the face. You're spitting in the face of great champions like Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino, um, Hulk Hogan. I mean, the Sergeant Slaughters. I mean, all of these people have held champions, not as long as those individuals that I just mentioned, but they've been champions and they've been good champions. Um, you can't sit there and you talk about somebody as a great champion when you are spitting in the face of the history of the other champions. Now, Mercedes Moné, yeah, okay, she's a good champ, she's a good wrestler, but she's not greatest. I wouldn't use the word greatest.
Yeah.
EST. I wouldn't use the word greatest. EST.
No.
I wouldn't use that word. Now there was champions like the Fabulous Moolah. There were Wendy Richter. There were there was Trish Stratus. There's other women in that vernacular, and then there's other women in that conversation that you can call icons, divas, champions, greatest, whatever you want. Those women were great, and they paved the way for people like Monet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So when you say the word greatest, be careful how you use it, and be careful what you're using it with, because they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest. You
Considered
asked what was
one.
that, Sarah? I'm sorry.
I said she could be considered one of the greatest, but not the greatest. I'm sorry.
Right. You
And
could put her in a tiny bracket, but
well,
that's it.
and I think the other part too with this using that term, that this person's the greatest of all time.
Right.
That's very relative. Like the criteria that you think of when you think of the greatest of all time may not be necessarily what I think of with the
Right.
concerning somebody being the greatest of all time. Um, so it's not like a standardized test, where everybody's on a level
Right.
playing field. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's just this makes me just yeah, I'm not happy because and then I was hearing rumblings that people saying that this New Japan Women's Strong Championship was created specifically for Mercedes. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? That doesn't make a lick of sense at all. That makes zero sense.
Right. And again,
So,
I'm going back to what my conversation was a while ago. If you feel in your heart of hearts that Roman and Mercedes and all of these people were the greatest, that's fine. That's your
yeah,
opinion. That's your opinion. I'm not here to tell you what to think or how to think or whatever. If that is what you think, and if that's what you feel,
yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. But what I'm trying to say and what Sarah's trying to say brilliantly is that is that we don't see it that way.
No,
We don't see it that way.
far from it.
And we can agree to disagree. That's fine.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you're not going to
That's
agree. Everybody's not going to agree 100% of the time.
no, you're not. You're not going to agree to it, and that's fine. Again, like I said, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever.
But I
You,
just,
we just don't think that way. We're just not on that
yeah.
train.
Well, like I said, what bothers me about the whole thing is the fact that this is only her first defense of this title. And it's at, again, another pay-per-view. So what? She's only going to be wrestling in flipping pay-per-view matches? Give me a break. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she was at Dynamite. She did wrestle on Dynamite, and she did defend the title once on Dynamite against Sky Blue. But
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It's how memorable it was.
well,
Forgot about that already.
But that was that was it. That was it. That's the scope of what she's done so far. Grandizer, how are you?
Oh, he's saying too in his next comment. He says that it sounds. Said you sound clearer today than you did yesterday, but he said you've got a little bit of an echo. He thinks it's the room that you're in. So,
You sound well.
which probably is the case.
It's probably the case, Grandizer, but again, I do appreciate that and thank you so much for that. Yeah, well, every time I go into a room or broadcast from different locations, sometimes it sounds one way and it sounds another way, and it sounds like I'm talking like this, so. But
Yeah.
as long as you can get it in and you can hear, that's fine. But thank you so much for your comments.
Yeah, as long as you can hear what they're saying, that's the important part. There's a
Right.
bit of an echo. There's a bit of an echo. That's all right.
Right. So, um, all right. So we're across the board here. Well, again, like I said, I guess Mercedes is gonna win the title. So we're gonna have a new champion this Sunday.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So those are two matches, unfortunately. So those are the two matches that are gonna be predictable. Yeah.
Yeah. That and
The ladder match.
Jackass. The Jungle Jackass ladder match. That one's predictable.
Right. All right. MJF takes on Inherical. MJF is returning to the action, and of course, like I said before, I'll say it again. What was that, sir? I'm sorry.
I said I thought he was taking on Hechicero.
Hechicero, excuse me. Now, I'm sorry if I butchered the name. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name.
Okay.
I'm butchering the name because, again, like I said before, I'll say it again, I don't speak Japanese and I don't speak Spanish. So, if I butcher the name, I deeply apologize.
Well, I just wanted to bring it up to me because I was like, did something happen? And they changed who he's in the match. I thought maybe something happened to MJF's opponent and they had to change up who he was going to have the match. So,
Hechicero. Hechicero. So apologize for that.
That's all right.
MJF will take on Hechicero. The match is going to be fine. The match is going to be okay. I like what it is. I like for what it is. And MJF is coming back in full effect on his first pay-per-view outing. And, of course, me and Sarah, we all know, Sarah and I, we know across the board, MJF is going to win the match. It's just this is no-brainer for me. So... okay, just to let everybody know, before we continue, Grandizer.
He said, I thought you butchered the name because you're not a fan of the name. You were trying to say you're not a fan of the name.
No, Granddad says no. I just again I'm sorry.
Raphael.
Rafael, good evening to you. Buenos dias, Rafael. So, no, I just couldn't pronounce the name, and that's what happened. Before we continue, I just want to let everybody know, before we came on the air, I forgot to mention this. Jim Ross is in the hospital again, and he's not doing too good. Jim
Oh
Ross is not doing too well. He's having issues breathing, and he's back in the emergency room, and he's trying to fight everything that with his tooth and nail in the hospital. So we want to wish Jim Ross a very speedy recovery. We hope and pray that he fights this and he gets out and he gets well and he gets out of the hospital. JR's had a number of health issues over the years. He's battling with cancer in the hip. He had cancer in the hip. He had skin cancer. He had Bell's palsies. He had blockage in the near his arteries. So we wish JR the very best speedy recovery, and we hope that he makes it through this second round of being in the hospital. He hasn't been on AEW TV because of his health issues. They had to pull him off television. So again, we wish JR our sincere best.
poor JR.
So yeah, I hate hearing things like that. Um, so Brian Danielson is going to take on Shingo. Now, again, I said, now I don't speak Japanese, so I believe its first name is Shingo. Shingo, I believe, and Brian Danielson win the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Um, this should be interesting. Brian Danielson hasn't fully announced yet that he's going to retire from wrestling, but it looks like when he keeps talking about his promos, he's contemplating about his swan song, like Sting did. Sarah, what do you think about this match?
Oh, I think Brian Danielson is going to win. I can't foresee them advancing somebody that's not from AEW in this tournament. I don't see it. So I do think that Brian Danielson will win this match.
Okay. All right. I'm going to agree with your assessment, and I think Danielson's going to win this match. I like this match, though. Brian Danielson always puts on bangers.
Oh yeah.
The man puts on bangers. He does.
It looks to me, I'm looking at the match card. Like for me, I pronounce it Tagagi.
Takagi. All right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's just what I think it would be pronounced as.
Right.
I could be butchering it too.
Right. Yeah. So we're across the board with Brian Danielson on that.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. The Learning Tree. Hi guys.
Oh my god.
The Learning
So
the
obnoxious.
Learning Tree. Big Bill. Well, Brian Keith is not in the match. He's injured, I believe. So okay. Well, I believe that this match has changed. So originally, because we did see Dynamite last night. Originally, it was supposed to be Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith taking on Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. But now I think they're going to change this match because if you remember last night in a segment, Chris Jericho went there and he enlisted Nora Suzuki as the replacement of Brian Keith.
Suzuki basically told him to go pound sand.
Right. Or it's what Sarah would say, kick rocks.
Told him to go kick rocks. So just the way he was talking to Jericho was so funny. Oh,
he said, "I'm gonna kick the." Nora Suzuki says in Japanese, "I'm gonna kick the leaves off of that learning tree."
Oh my God, it was just.
It was funny because he wanted to challenge Jericho for the FTW Championship. So I'm going to assume that this match has changed. And we're going to get Jericho taking on Suzuki for the title. But we'll investigate that further. But anyway, either way, this match is happening on the pay-per-view. Sarah, what do you think about this?
Well, everything I'm seeing on here, it doesn't show that they've changed the match yet. So I'm wondering if something is going to come about where Jericho does somehow end up finding a third person to join his team, either on Rampage or Collision.
Right.
Because I've looked at 4 different listings for the match card, and it's not showing anything different. So
right.
It just says to be determined instead of Brian Keith. It just says to be determined.
To be determined. Okay. Yeah, so
it just
Brian. So Brian Keith. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sarah. Brian Keith was injured in the match, and he cannot perform. He cannot be cleared. So me and Sarah, we were looking at the learning tree. Hi guys, we were looking at the learning tree, and he went there and he enlisted Suzuki. He tried to volunteer Suzuki, and Suzuki was like, he was not having none of it. He was tired of being Jericho's lackey or trying to be Jericho's lackey, and he wasn't having it. And Suzuki told him what to do with himself. I loved it. And me and Sarah loved it too. We thought it was great. You see, that's what you get. That's what you get when you volunteer someone and don't get permission from the person. That's what you get. That is what you get. You don't volunteer people. I remember people used to try to do that to me all the time, volunteer me for things that I never said yes to. And it's just, I loved it. I don't know about anybody else, but I love that segment. That was the best segment. Jericho coming out and waving to the audience like he's a president of the United States. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. He looks ridiculous doing it. But anyway. Yeah, so this match is yet to be determined. I'm not sure if they're going to stay with a 6-man tag or is it going to be Suzuki taking on Jericho. Either way, my prediction for this match, I want to see the Shibata down Team Hook. Team Hook will win this match over Jericho, this learning tree. He's gonna beat the stew. He's gonna beat the stew out of Jericho in this match. And I'm gonna pretend to be Sarah on Sunday night since she's not gonna be there. Anyway, she's with a can of stew. Pretty much. I'm gonna do it in Sarah's honor. He has beaten the stew. That's right. He has beaten the stew. He has beaten the stew out of Jericho. Thank you so much for that visual aid. The Dirty Bang Bang Gang is back and full of feather, and she's been enhanced. Bang bang. We always have fun here at the Wrestling Experience. Yes, we do. If you don't think the show is entertaining, then why are you watching it? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Oh, good night, nurse. Anyway. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, all right. So we talked about that. We talked about, okay. We talked about the ladder match. All right. We're up to the main event of the Forbidden Door. And that will be Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Bruv. Bro. Bruv.
I just love that shirt he was wearing last night. It's just bruv in all big letters on the front.
Right, bruv.
That was great.
I remember I was calling the match, and there was an instance where he got pounced, and I said, "Damn, bro, you gonna push me in section 202?" He went, "Bro, damn, bro." I thought it was funny.
It was.
That was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and then Swerve Strickland put an exclamation point to their feud last night. Well, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk
Oh my
about that.
gosh, that was crazy looking. Holy moly.
He told him, he said, "Don't touch the title," and he did, and Swerve let him pay for it.
He paid the price. He paid the price.
He paid a hefty price. So Sarah, who is going to win this match?
God, I mean, you really can't pin either one, because it could make them look weak. I would think if there's anybody that could afford to get pinned, it would be Will Ospreay, because they didn't start Swerve's championship reign off on a very good foot.
Right.
They weren't they delayed him, they delayed doing like a celebration for Swerve, and then acted like, oh, we planned it like this all along. Now it's going to be on Collision. Well, it should have been on Dynamite, okay?
Right.
So trying to cover your tracks that way just made yourselves look even more incompetent.
Right.
But I don't think, I truly feel that Swerve isn't going to lose that title until All In.
Okay.
And I have a feeling this is going to kickstart a feud with him and Will Ospreay, especially after what happened on the end of Dynamite last night. So I could see them doing this, feud up until All In, and it should be Will Ospreay versus Swerve for the championship at All In, and Will Ospreay should win it there. That's just what I feel they're going to end up doing. Is they will have Swerve hang on to have that title until All In. The rest of it, that's kind of up in the air. That's just what I would like to happen, what I could see happening. But I do truly feel that Swerve will have that title till All In. So I have a sneaky suspicion that I found it kind of interesting that after Will Ospreay said, I don't need the Don Callis family, that Don Callis went and approached Roosh in the locker room later that night. And I'm sure to try to coax him into becoming a part of the Don Callis family and joining them, because Don Callis already is planning to get rid of Ospreay to kick him out of the group. And I'm sure it would not surprise me in the least if we had members from the Don Callis family coming down, interfering in the match, which causes Will Ospreay to lose. So I think Swerve is going to walk away with his title still.
Well, yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I'm gonna, you know what I think I'm gonna call for here. I'm gonna call for a time limit draw.
Oh,
I'm gonna call for a time limit draw.
There you go.
I'm gonna say these two are gonna put on a banger. They're gonna tear the house down, but in the end, the time limit it just expired. They're gonna do counter for counter, move for move, hold for hold. This match is gonna be like full pedal to the pedal, and in the end, they're just gonna be gassed. The both of them are gonna be gassed. They have no energy left in the match, and we're gonna get to a time limit draw. I'm gonna call for a draw here. I'm going to save both men. I'm going to say call for a draw here. Um,
I mean, that would be really the only way that both could walk away still looking strong and neither one getting pinned.
right,
Unless you have
exactly.
some kind of disqualification of some
This,
kind.
that's
And then,
another thing too.
which that could happen if you have got the Don Callis family come down and interfere, unless of course Aubrey Edwards is the ref, because then she's not going to see it. So
Right, right. So I'm gonna say with all certainty that I'm gonna call for a time limit draw here, and that's my prediction.
okay, that makes sense.
Yep. I'm gonna call for a draw. The match, like I said, the match is gonna be a banger. The match is gonna be fine for what it was. I don't have an issue with the match whatsoever. These two are gonna tear the house down, and like Sarah said brilliantly, Will Ospreay never gives you a lemon sour match. This match is going to be a banger. This match is going to be a banger. And all his matches have been bangers on pay per view. All of them.
Every match, I said this last night, every single match he has had on pay-per-view since he came to AEW in March, they have all been match of the night. All of
Yep.
them.
Yep.
I do think that his match that he had at Revolution, that one was so far for me match of the year. Just like
Yeah,
match of the
I
year
agree.
last year
Yeah.
was a match with Kenny Omega. That was match of the year for me.
Yep. Yep.
So,
I agree with that. I don't have an issue with that.
I mean, he's
Ah.
just doesn't have Will Ospreay does not have bad matches. Like
No.
he's just excellent, and oh my goodness.
It's just it's a testament of who he is. It's a testament. All right.
Now
All
we
right,
did
let's
miss
go.
one match. We did miss one match because remember the Young Bucks and
Oh yes.
are in a match.
Yes. And who are their opponents again, sir? I closed
Um,
out my match list.
Oh, that's okay. Let me look.
Uh,
Let me scroll down here. It was just FYI, it was Ospreay's match with Takeshita at Revolution for me.
You're
That's
right.
years so far. That's the match I
Right.
was referring to. His match with Takeshita. It was wonderful.
Right.
But yeah, so we've got the Elite, which is Okada, and then the Young Children versus
Oh yes.
the Acclaim, so Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh yes. Yes. This is going to be.
Daddy Ass said, I'm too old for this. Let somebody else, and we got a friend who's a president, so he outranks you guys. You guys are only EVPs. This guy's a president. And
Right, and he is the president. Right. And Tanahashi is the president of New Japan. And a very powerful person in the wrestling business is Tanahashi.
He's amazing in the ring. So
Yes.
I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see him.
And the burner and the heat will be turned up on this match. This match is going to be really wild and all over the place. Here's the thing that I want to see here. Team Tanahashi's gonna win this match.
Oh yeah. That's
Team Tanahashi, yep. Team Tanahashi is gonna win this match.
Yep. I think Tanahashi will end up winning the match for his team, which then gives the Acclaimed the ability to challenge the young children for their tag titles. So
yep.
So yeah, that's what I think. I really would believe I think Tanahashi is going to win it for the Acclaimed, and
Yep.
then get to challenge for those tag titles again.
Yep. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this again. Since Tanahashi is the president of New Japan, and this is a New Japan promotion, and this is a New Japan brand exclusive for AEW, there's no way that Tanahashi's gonna lose this match.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
a good way to look at it too.
Yeah, Tanahashi is not going to. They're not going to make him lose this match. It's virtually not a good idea to do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go with that. I wouldn't do it the other way. No. The young children are going to pay for what they have done over the couple of months. And they should get the L in this match. They should eat the pin. One of them over there should eat the pin. Doesn't matter who eats it, but somebody over there needs to eat the pin, and we march forward in this program. All right.
Well,
all right.
And I wanted to say too, get ready, folks, because there's already 3 pre-show matches.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about the pre-show matches. Now, Sarah has. I only have one of them, but Sarah probably will have the other 2. So Sarah will have the other 2, I believe. The match that I have in front of me, Sarah, is Chris Statlander. Now, Chris Statlander and I believe her first name is Mono. I've challenged Willow Nightingale. Mono?
No, I think I'm seeing Momo. Momo.
Oh, Momo.
Momo.
Momo. Whoa. Whoa.
Be like the old Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo.
Whoa. You know it.
Woo woo woo.
Oh, you know it. So, Watanabe, we'll take on. Okay, so Willow Nightingale will take on Tam Nakanono. I believe it's Tam Nakano. Thank you. You know something? Me and Cheryl. Well, it's a good thing Sarah's here because we would be in a Japanese restaurant. And I'll order something, and it looked nefarious in the plate, and it's moving. I'm like, I don't think I ordered that. Anyway, Nakano. Okay, so Nakano as Willow's partner, and Chris Statlander will have Wantabe. Okay, so the match is going to be fine for what it is. Chris Statlander and Nightingale have been going back and forth. They've been going back and forth all over the place. And
I don't think this feud between Willow and Chris Statlander, I don't think it's going to end after this match. I think this is going to keep going, where it's eventually going to culminate in them having a match at All In.
Yep. I agree with that, sir. I believe in that long-term storytelling. Yep, I believe in that wholeheartedly. So what do you think is who's going to win this match?
I could see Willow and Tam Nakano winning over Statlander and her partner, simply because the last couple times we've seen Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. Chris Statlander's gotten like the best. She's bested Willow Nightingale, like attacking her backstage and all of that kind of stuff. So I could see Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano pulling this out and winning. But again, I don't think it's not going to be over after this match. I think there's going to be more happening. I think they're going to end up having another match at the next pay-per-view. And then, like I said, it'll eventually lead us to All In. That's where they're going to have the big match is going to be at All In.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to go with what Sarah's saying here. Tam and Nightingale will go over Statlander, Team Statlander. And, I agree with this assessment. But remember, you still have the Stokely Hathaway on the outside, and he's not, his nose is never clean. He likes to get involved in the proceedings. So I wouldn't put it past him to not interfere in this match whatsoever. His hands is gonna be all dirty in the match. All right, so Sarah, what is the next match on the docket?
The next pre-show match is Mariah May versus Saraya.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yikes. It's a good thing that I'm not doing the pre-show matches. It's a really good thing because, oh boy.
I mean, it's going to be a lot to go through, to sit through if you're watching all the three pre-show matches and then all the regular main.
Yeah, which is probably right now. I believe it's up to 11 or 12, plus the pre-show matches.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches on the main show.
Okay, so then 10 plus 3
matches total.
So 13 matches. There you go, folks.
That's
bingo. And again, I'm quite sure between Collision and Rampage, Tony Khan is going to cram something else in there, which makes it about 14 or 15. We got a long night. It's going to be a long night.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to deal with. Saraya.
I'm sorry, nobody gives a crap about Saraya. She has done nothing of note. Nothing.
When she came out the first time, the crowd popped for her. Okay, when she came out the first time, and that was at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. I was there. I was there when she debuted. I was there. Okay, I was there. I was sitting there. I was watching it. Now, when she comes out, it's like the match should be booked in the library.
It's crickets.
The Outcast thing was overused and overboring. It was overplayed. The spray paint, her doing the L on her forehead, it became too much. It was too much. And this match, I really don't care about it. I really don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
Nobody gives a crap about Saraya. Nobody. Sorry.
I'm
There's
gonna
people out there that love Saraya, but she has not done anything of note since she won the title at All In last year, which she shouldn't have won anyway.
Right. I'm going to say with uncertainty here. I guess I'm going to have to give the match to Saraya. I'll give the match to Saraya. She's going to go over Mariah May in this match. But the crowd is not going to be. I'm going to tell you this right now. It doesn't matter how many people are in that UBS arena. The crowd is going to be dead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No.
The crowd is going to. No. The crowd is going to be dead. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. And like Sarah said, if you like Saraya, that's fine. I'm not telling you not to like her I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you anything to think differently or anything like that. We agree to disagree.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm not here to trample on anyone's thought process. You like what you like. That's fine. I like her when she was in WWE. She was fine when she was in WWE. When she
Yeah.
debuted in AEW, that was fine. I had no issues with it. But then when she became with the Outcast and they turned her heel, they didn't give her a chance to be a baby face. They turned her back to heel. And when she became the heel, it became too much. They overused it. And that's just my opinion, and that's my opinion only. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion. Um, it just was overused.
And I think
Mm.
the opposite. I could see Mariah May going over.
Oh, okay.
I could see Mariah May winning. Um,
Okay.
but that's just because of how much they've been using Mariah May um, since she came to AEW. I mean, they paired her up with Tony Storm right off the bat, and
Right.
she's always on Dynamite. Every time Tony Storm is on TV, you see Mariah May, whether it's Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage. It doesn't matter. So that's what leads me to believe that Mariah May is going to go over Saraya. But I mean, once again, who cares? Like nobody is going to
Right.
talk about this. But that's just like I said, that's just my opinion on it. If people like Saraya, that's perfectly fine, well and good. So, and then we have one more pre-show match here.
Okay.
Looks like it's the three that team from last night where they were basically the Japanese version of um I think the Elite. They were like the Japanese version. It's Hiromu Takahashi, Titan, and Yoda Suji versus Mystico, Penta, and Ray Phoenix.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I probably mispronounced names, but oh well.
Again, me and Sarah do not speak Japanese. So don't come for us on Twitter. If we butchered the names, we do apologize. We try to clean it up as possible. Um, but okay, who do you think's gonna win the match, Sarah?
I think Penta. I think Penta. I think Penta's team is gonna do it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think Penta's team is going to win too. I'm going to give it to Penta. I'm going to give it to Penta. I'm going to give it to Penta. Los Innobles de Japan. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
what it
believe.
is. They're basically that group, but the Japanese version.
Right.
Like
Los Innobles de Japan. De Japan.
that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Right, and then yeah, and they're gonna be with Ray Phoenix and Penta. That the match is gonna be fine. Match is gonna be fine. I don't have an issue with the match whatsoever because here's the thing: if you don't like luchador wrestling mixed with Japan, why are you a wrestling fan? Why? Why
I
are
like
you?
Penta and Ray Phoenix, so
No, exactly, and that's what I mean, Sarah. I mean, if you're not a fan of luchador wrestling and that kind of why? Why? Because I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. I have zero issue with it. The match is gonna be fine. The match is everybody's gonna play their part well in the match. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. Everything's gonna be great.
yeah.
I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sarah's prediction. I'm Team Penta all the way. I think the match is gonna be fun. It's gonna be something for the fans that come out and see the match. And I'm quite sure half of that audience in the UBS arena is going to be, they're going to love luchador wrestling because you hardly see it anywhere. You hardly see it. Um, I don't know if you all remember Lucha Ground. There was a show called Lucha Underground. It used to be on Access TV, and it used to come on every Wednesday. I used to watch that religiously. I used to watch it all the time because they used to wrestle in this thing called the Aztec. It was great. All this luchador wrestling and very hard hitting wrestling, and they use all kind of tables and stuff. It was great.
Swerve was in Lucha Underground before he went to WWE.
Oh,
I
I
think.
didn't
I
even
think it
know.
was before he went to NXT. He was in Lucha Underground.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you've never seen the show, go back and try to Google it on YouTube or what, and go watch it because it was a good show. It was a good show, and then they pulled the plug on it. It was a good show, and I loved it. I'm so sorry that it's not available anymore.
Yeah.
Um.
I just actually really quick I just looked it up and Swerve was in Lucha Underground from 2015 to 2018.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I did not even know that. Maybe I did see him on there and I didn't recognize the name of the face. Maybe they gave him a new name and face and I just did wasn't paying that much attention to it. Maybe I missed him in it. But Lucha Underground was great. I loved it. It was some great wrestling. Great wrestling. Ladies and men. They were great. They were great. Even if women, they went and did the same thing the men did. They grind. They went in there and they did their thing in the ring and they performed in that Aztec. It's a small little venue, the Aztec. And it was great. It's great. Good stuff. Good stuff on a Wednesday night. Really good stuff. And this was even before Dynamite was even invented or anything of that nature, or AEW even came in existence. Good stuff. All right, so we are done. We are done with the Forbidden Door, and me and Sarah are closing the Forbidden Door and locking it so that nobody else will come
Before
through
we
it.
do that, I would like to shove Jungle Jackass and young children through that door. Then we can shut the door and lock it. And they can shoot in your hand as far as I'm concerned.
I love Sarah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's like no, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm sure there's people out there that really love, the Young Bucks and Jungle Jackass. I cannot stand any of them. So we'll keep Okada. The rest of them can go.
Right. So yeah, so we're done with the Forbidden Door. Now we're gonna go to Dynamite, and then we're gonna close the show with wrestling news. So, let's talk about Dynamite for a second. AEW Dynamite took place last night in Buffalo, New York, and me and Sarah had a lot of fun in that telecast.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun with that telecast. I especially, for the first time ever, I laughed very hard with the Learning Tree segment. Honora Suzuki that was the best part about it. The rest of it was not good, but Honora Suzuki, that was fun.
It was so funny. Just the way he was talking to Chris Jericho and mocking him and just saying, no, if I'm gonna wrestle you, I'm gonna wrestle you for individually for the title, one-on-one. Like I'm not wrestling on your team at all.
Not right, exactly.
And it was perfect. Just the inflection in his voice. I know we had to, have subtitles because he was speaking, Japanese. But just tell by the tone of his voice. He was just, oh man, it was great.
He was over it. He was over Jericho, and I loved it. He was over it. Jericho got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. That learning tree. Um, Sarah, on an entertainment level, what did you give that segment?
That segment, um, entertainment level, I'd probably give it a 7, just because of um just because of how he talked to Jericho. So funny.
Oh my god, that was so funny. It was great. I'm gonna give it a 7 too. The segment gets a segment because I loved it. Jericho as a whole, I give him a 0 for that learning tree. That's ridiculous. Hi guys. He
My
comes in
God,
the
it's
ring.
so obnoxious and annoying.
Can you imagine working with somebody like that in the office? They come and
Oh,
greet you every morning. Hi, Sarah. Hi, guys.
hi guys. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God, John. You just want to
Hi
strangle the.
guys.
I just want to. You just want to strangle him. It's
It's just,
you wanna-
it's like nails on a chalkboard. That's what
right.
I
If
that's what I think of when he does that super goofy, obnoxious hi guys. Makes me think of
right,
nails on a chalkboard. It's annoying as
right,
hell.
right. Um, yeah. So the segment gets a 7. I think it was something else. Hey, Jericho got what he deserved. Again, like I said, Jericho got what he deserved. He
Oh
did.
yeah.
Um, he tried to volunteer Suzuki to be his tag team partner. Suzuki said he wasn't having it. He wasn't
This
having
when he
it.
told him to kick rocks.
Right.
Like, no.
He deserved it. He deserved it. Jericho did. Um, so anywho, that was the Chris Jericho segment we talked about. All right. Jay White took on Ray Phoenix. The match was fine. The match was all right. Sarah, what did you make of the match last night?
Oh, I always like watching Ray Phoenix. He's fantastic. Um,
Yes.
I mean, and as much as I wanted Ray Phoenix to win the match, Jay White needed that victory more. So it
Yeah.
does make sense that Jay White won. But I thought the two of them together, I thought they both did great, and I really liked the fact that I think Rick Knox was the ref in that match. I mean, I'm really glad that he, used his brain, unlike other refs, Aubrey Edwards, and he kicked everybody out of ringside and was like, no, you all are gone, you guys are all causing problems, everybody needs to leave and go.
Right. Exactly.
um and again, I said this last night too, I'm very surprised they did not make a condition of the Owen Hart tournament that nobody, if you're in a group or anything, nobody is allowed at ringside like they did with the Continental Classic. I'm very surprised
Right.
they did not that they did not put that in place. I would have thought they would have, for both the men and the women's matches. But I like that match. I thought they both did a great job.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with that assessment. I think the match was fine. The match was fine. They moved very well together. A lot of fluidity in the match, a lot of counter for counter in the match, and I like that to see that. And Ray Phoenix, he is a dazzle in the ring when it comes to his moves. He is a dazzler. I love me some Ray Phoenix. Love it.
Hmm.
His moves are spectacular, to say none the least. Okay, so on an entertainment level, so what number do you give this match?
That I'd give that a 7 too. It was pretty
Yeah,
good. I enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7 too. I'm gonna ride the 7 train. and that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Kyle O'Reilly. All aboard. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly took on Zack Sabre Jr. The match was fine. The match was, but here's the thing. Oh, I just get so frustrated with Kyle O'Reilly's booking.
Yes.
Why do you all keep doing this to him? Why do you all keep making the other guys go over him? I'm not a fan of that. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of that, guys. Why do you keep doing that? You make him look like Natalia of AEW. Don't do
Yeah.
that. I
He should
mean, look
not
at
be laying down. He should not be laying down
no. And
at all.
you're booking him like Natalia. You're booking him like Shayna Baszler and all of the. Don't keep doing that. Why does he always have to eat the pin? Why is he always eating the pin? Why is he always getting the short end of the stick? Come on now, guys. Come on. Think outside the box here. Come on.
Yeah, it's really disappointing because
It really is.
when he came back, we were surprised that Kyle O'Reilly was back, and then I remember we both got very excited that Kyle O'Reilly was back.
Yes.
And then you're constantly having him eat the pin in like every match he's in.
Yes.
It's not a good look. You're making him look super weak. Super weak.
Yes.
And
And then,
an excellent wrestler. I mean, his time in
yes.
NXT proved that. And he was a force to be reckoned with. And now this is the way you're booking him? Like, come on.
Yeah, and I'm just like disappointed. I'm just like disappointed in the whole thing because the guy has a great repertoire and he has a great resume. And he could be a champion someday. But if you're gonna keep jobbering him out like that, how is anybody gonna have investment in him? How's anybody gonna invest in Kyle O'Reilly as a champion? How's he gonna take him seriously when he loses his matches? I mean, how is that possible? Come on, guys. Come on. You got to do better than that. You got to do
Again,
better than.
this is why we've been saying, you have been screaming this from the rooftop. Tony Khan needs a writing team. He needs to
Yes.
stop booking these shows for what he wants to see. He needs to be, the smart thing would be booking it to where you've got long-term storytelling, the show, the matches and the shows make sense, and and it's fluid. I understand that, it's not always going to be perfect, but Tony Khan needs to start using his brain.
Yes.
It's
Because,
ridiculous.
I mean, how could you sit there and justify. Now, how are you going to sit there and tell me, yeah, well, he needs to. No, he doesn't need to eat the pin. No, he doesn't. Why is
No,
every
it doesn't.
dynamite? Why is every dynamite? Why is every collision? Why is every rampage? He's eating the pin. It's just like
Look
Shayna
at
Baszler. It's just like Shayna Baszler. I'm tired of watching Raw, Sarah. I'm tired of watching Raw. Every time I do Raw, and she's in a tag team match, who gets to eat the pin of no, we're gonna give it to Shayna Baszler tonight. I think she's not full with the plate. Here, give this to Shayna Baszler.
Yep.
Every time I've seen Shayna Baszler in a match, the woman is eating the pin. What happened to Zoe
I
Stark?
still cannot believe that they had her, of all people, in that triple threat tag match at Clash at the Castle. I am
Yeah.
still very surprised that of all people they had Shayna Baszler take the pin. I do
Yeah,
not think that was the right call at all.
no. I didn't agree with it, Sarah. I did not agree with it. And I
I
have
know
been
you did.
shouting I said this on the prediction show. Now we did a prediction for the Clash of the Castle. It was
Sure
me.
did.
It was me. It was Sarah. It was Nick, and it was Matt. Okay, and those are not lawyers. Those are passionate wrestling fans, and you're gonna watch the wrestling experience. But anywho, I said, I said in the predictions, I didn't want to see Elba Fire and Don get pinned, and I certainly did not want Shayna Baszler to win. I said that Zoe Stark should have at the pin,
Yep.
and I said it. It's on videotape. I said it. I said she should have ate the pin. But no, what did you all do in WWE? What'd you do? You went with the same old narrative. Oh yes, Shayna Baszler. The woman had stellar matches in NXT. Okay,
She's the
she
longest
was the
reigning.
name.
She's the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. And
Right,
then this is how they're booking her on the main roster. It's
right.
shameful. They should
It
be ashamed of
is.
themselves.
It was, and this woman was the longest reigning NXT. Like Sarah says, I'm going to repeat what Sarah said. Listen to me carefully. Shayna Baszler was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion in NXT history. She comes on the main roster and you water her down like nothing. Vince
And then they,
McMahon goes there, yeah.
they paired her up with Ronda Rousey. Oh my
Then
God,
they
that was
paired her up with Ronda
terrible.
Rousey, Nia Jax, Natalia, this person, that
So
person.
bad.
Santa Claus and his wife. All of these people come out of the woodwork and want to tag with Shayna Baszler.
Which is fine, but she shouldn't be eating the pin, just like Kyle O'Reilly shouldn't be the one that's always eating the
No, and now
pin. They
getting
made
back to
Kyle
Kyle.
O'Reilly look like a glorified jobber.
Right. And she should not be eating the pin.
No,
And I'm getting
no,
tired of it. Every week this man is eating the pin. I'm like, come on now. Is this what this guy reduced to? You know, if I was Kyle O'Reilly, I would have told Tony Khan, listen, I'm not wrestling another match until I win a match.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
If I was
Absolutely
Kyle O'Reilly,
ridiculous.
I would stay home. And the minute he picked up the phone, I said, well, unless you're going to make me win a match, I'm not coming out.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
It's
He's
ridiculous already. Yeah, it's redundant already. I don't want to see him keep eating the pin. Why does he always have to eat the pin? Zack Sabre Jr. should have lost last night. He should have
Yeah,
lost.
yeah,
Kyle O'Reilly needs a pin he can't find a pin to save his life.
yeah. It's not. It was not good. I didn't like it at all.
No. And then when I see Shayna Baszler make her eat the pin, I throw my hands up in frustration. I'm like, I'm done with this. I can't. Oh my God. Ay, 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 ay.
Yep.
Okay. On an entertainment level, so what do you give this match?
I don't know. I give it a 5. It
Yeah,
wasn't amazing. It wasn't absolutely garbage. It just was there.
right. I'm gonna go down the dial. And I'm gonna give this match a 3. The match gets a 3 for me because I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. is fine. I don't mind. I have nothing against Zack Sabre Jr. I have nothing against him. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's fantastic in the ring of what he does. That's fine. But to be selfish in a match where you can't eat the pin, I mean, come on now. That's being selfish. I mean that's being selfish. I mean the man needs a win. If he needs some kind of push. And you can't tell me just for one night you can't eat the pin? Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
That's hogwash. That's hogwash. You shouldn't be selfish. You should eat the pin.
Yep, I
You
agree.
should eat the pin. You should eat the pin and stop being selfish. Let somebody eat the victory pie now and then. Don't be selfish.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is just my opinion and my opinion only.
Well, it's my opinion too. So you're not alone in that.
Yeah. All right. Saraya and Harley Cameron and Anna Jay took on Tony Storm, Mariah May, and Mina Sharakawa. Mina. I'm not gonna say the last name because I don't want to mess that up.
You
I'm
said
sorry.
it correctly. Shirakawa. You said it right.
Oh, Sharakawa. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. 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 I thought I got it wrong, but okay. Thank you, Sarah, for that. Thank you. Um, that is why I love my co-pilot. She tells me which track I'm on, the
Good.
wrong one or the right one. Um,
You're doing fine.
oh, excellent. Thank you so much. So the match was the match was all right, but the, there were some creepy moments in the match that I wasn't gonna call because Sarah is a woman and I respect Sarah wholeheartedly. And when we do these matches with her, um, Mina is very creepy. She likes to do these creepy things with other women, and I just it's kind of cringeworthy for me, and it's kind of like on the vibe of that era we went through in WWE. I don't know if you want to call the Attitude Era or whatever you want to call that. Um, it had that kind of vibe to it. So there was moments in the match where she did things that I was not comfortable with, and I know Sarah was not comfortable watching it. It wasn't good. In women's wrestling, you're supposed to have athleticism, move for move, counter for counter. Nothing creepy, nothing out of the ordinary is supposed to happen. Like I said, Tony Storm wrestled. She wrestled fine. Saraya, we're over her. We're over that. Everything else was just. It was there for what it was. I'm gonna use that word. It was there for what it was. Sarah, what did you think of the match?
Boring.
Okay. All
It
right.
was boring as hell.
Okay.
Um, and I don't understand where, so Soraya and Harley Cameron have been, on a team, together for a while now. So that makes sense, okay? But where in the world did Anna Jay come from? I mean, and the other problem I have is okay, so they're calling themselves the Outcasts.
Okay.
The Outcasts were called the Outcasts because these are people that came from other wrestling promotions over to AEW. Anna Jay has been with AEW, I believe, since the beginning. So
Yes.
technically, she shouldn't be a part of the Outcasts. She shouldn't.
Right. Right.
So it doesn't make a bit of sense to me. I mean, I'm sure they're doing this just as a way to get her on to get Anna Jay on TV, which is fine, but it just, like I said, it just doesn't make it's just not logical. It doesn't make sense. um I don't appreciate the, like, pardon my language, the gratuitous sexual nature that they constantly throw out
Yeah.
there with a lot of the stuff that Mariah May and Tony Storm and this Mina Shirakawa have been doing. It makes me feel very, maybe I'm a prude, but it makes me feel very uncomfortable. It's like super cringy for me. I don't enjoy it at all whatsoever. So I'm really hoping that, Mariah May ends up choosing, going with Tony Storm over Mina Shirakawa, and this can, this crap can be done. I feel like the Tony Khan and AEW, they're trying to recreate the Attitude Era, and it would be really nice to see them have like an original idea and not constantly try to recreate stuff that was done years ago. Um,
Right.
so that that's the other part of it. But yeah, this I mean, and it was so quiet when this match was going on. The
Oh yeah, it
loudest
was dead.
the loudest the crowd got was when Tony Storm came out. Everybody was cheering for her, which perfectly fine. But once that match started, like you say, it should have been booked in a library. Like it's like
Yep.
people were sitting on their hands, or they
Yep.
were looking, reading their phones or talking to each other. They weren't paying attention to this match
No,
because
no.
nobody cares. Um, and it's very frustrating because AEW has an excellent women's roster, excellent.
Right.
And I know we're missing, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter right now, but just imagine it's going to be even more stacked once those two ladies come back. So it's very frustrating as a wrestling fan to just see their women's division floundering the way it's floundering. Something's got to change, and once again, Tony Khan needs to bring in an actual writing team. He really does. Like this ain't it. This ain't
Nope. Nope.
it. So as far as entertainment value, I'd give this a 1.
Yeah,
I didn't give this at all.
what was that? What was that word you use? That G word that you use.
Gratuitous.
Gratuitous. Yes, the gratuitous nature of this match and what she was doing, was absolutely. It was very weird, and because of that, this match gets a 0.
Yeah,
The match gets the match is a 0. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't find it. Now, again, I'm gonna put this disclaimer on. If you like what you saw last night on Dynamite with these ladies, that is fine. That's your business. That's not. That is. I am not here to change your mind or your narrative or anything like that. If you like what you saw, that's fine. There are things that I liked about Dynamite, and that there were things that I didn't like about Dynamite last night, and that was one of them. I'm not saying the whole show was horrible. I'm not saying that, but that was just a negative for me.
Yep.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. And Anna Jay, like Sarah said, Anna Jay shouldn't have been in there, and she had no business in the match whatsoever because she's not part of the Forbidden Door. Uh, so only people that were involved in the Forbidden Door and the Go Home show should be on the show. See, like Monday Night Raw is gonna have their Go Home show from Boston. Okay, they're gonna display all of the people that are going to be involved in the Money in the Bank. They're gonna give you the matches that you're gonna see. They're gonna give you the match list. Oh, speaking of Money in the Bank, Sarah, next Wednesday night, because of the 4th of July holiday, and me and Sarah are off, we are going to give you the predictions for Money in the Bank. At the same time, we're going to give you the AEW show, the Fallout show. So when we do Dynamite next Wednesday, Sarah, we're also going to predict the Money in the Bank. So that's that. Now we've done this before. I've done this before. I've done it with Nick. I don't know if you saw the telecast, but I've done it with Nick before. We did Dynamite and we did the predictions. We crammed it all into one show and we gave it to you. So we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you next Wednesday night here on the Hardcore Sports. We're going to give you Dynamite and we're going to give you the predictions for Money in the Bank. And don't forget, as I said before, me and Sarah will return with the Wrestling Experience on July 18th. We're going to return July 18th with the Wrestling Experience, and we're going to beam aboard Mitch Kosky, Orange Cassidy's best. He's on a humiliating He's gonna come on here and he's gonna be on this mothership. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all happening on July the 18th. Thank you so much. Um, okay. All right. All right. So we have that. Okay, the Combat Club. The Combat Club took on Los Nobles de Japón. The match was fine. It ended in a DQ. Not Dairy Queen. No, not Dairy Queen. Disqualification. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Earl, what do you mean by DQ?" Well, I don't mean Dairy Queen. No,
No,
it's a disqualification. It's just called a disqualification. Yeah, somebody asked me. They said, "What's disqualification?" They shorten it for DQ. That's
I
what
do
it's
not know
called.
what DQ means. That's just
Uh,
crazy.
well, there's some people that don't know, so they don't. They don't.
It's
Just
just
like
crazy.
when you see a match and it has DEF. A lot of people don't know what that means. That means defeated.
Yeah.
When you see somebody's name next to a match list and they said DEF, they're abbreviated for defeated. A lot of people don't know that. I'm not. I can't sit here and teach you all the abbreviation lingo in wrestling, but um, so because that'll take a while. Um,
That's
so
okay.
so anyway, that's my little hit. That's my little lesson for you for tonight. The, so what did you make of the match last night?
I mean, I thought it was a decent match. Combat Club, they're always, it's always hard hitting with them, really, no
Right,
matter who they're up against.
right,
Um, but I was really surprised that they lost, that they got that, they managed to get themselves disqualified. Um,
yeah,
but it fit the narrative for the combat, Blackpool Combat Club. So,
right.
um, but yeah, I mean, I thought the match was fine.
And
I
I,
thought it was all right.
right, and you know what? I don't think they cared about the disqualification. I don't
No,
think that they didn't give it. They didn't give a rip. They didn't give a rip. They didn't care about getting disqualified. That's not. That's Moxley. You got to be careful with Moxley because Moxley don't care about disqualifications. You know what Moxley cares about? Disfigurement.
violence.
Yeah, Moxley cares about disfigurement, and that's the truth. That is the honest truth.
Oh yeah.
Moxley loves to disfigure his opponent. He don't care who you are, what you came for. He wants to make sure he gives you something to remember him by.
That's very true.
That's what That's exactly what Moxley does. He wants to make sure that you never, and listen to me carefully, that you never forget who he is.
Well, yeah, I mean, he wrestles in death matches for crying out loud. I mean,
Exactly.
he
Exactly.
loves the violent aspect of pro wrestling. So,
Right.
am I surprised that they got disqualified? A little bit. I'm just surprised that they let themselves get disqualified. But I think now that Wheeler Yuta is back, they want to try to turn over a new leaf. So,
Right. Like I said before, and I'll say it again. Fro, how are you tonight?
he said Osprey is the hero we need in AEW. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, bro. Bruce, how are you tonight? How you doing? Thank you so much for your time and energy.
Yeah,
Bruce.
Bruce said, Earl, I feel old school people are the best as they're the smartest, and I like that.
Oh well, no.
There you go.
Well, thank
See,
you
Earl
for
is very smart.
well, thank you so much, Bruce, for that. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, well, that's the tagline down the bottom. That that I have. I'm old school, but I'm cool. That's
Right?
that is. Ask anybody; they'll tell you. You know. So what was that, Sarah?
I said that's very true.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't fall for fake imitations. So.
Absolutely.
So. All right. So the Combat Club on an entertainment level, sir. What do you give this match?
This one, I'd give it a 7. It was all right for, like you say, it was all right for what it was.
Right. It was good for what it was.
Yeah.
The match.
Yeah.
Again, I have no issues with the match whatsoever. The match was fine. The match was all right, and I just cannot wait to see what the Combat Club does next. That's going to be really interesting to see none the least. All right. So what did you make of the MJF opening segment?
I I mean, I liked it. I mean, I enjoy MJF. He is one of my favorites, not just in AEW, but just overall in pro wrestling. I and he was, when MJF came back, he was, as I like to say, he was the shot in the arm that that they needed to really help out with with their storylines and just help out overall.
Right.
Um, I really liked the promo that he had with Daniel Garcia. Giving Daniel Garcia his flowers, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Garcia has improved tremendously
Mm-hmm.
over at least the last year. He has improved quite a bit. And it was really
Exactly.
nice to see somebody like an MJF's, somebody of his caliber giving Daniel Garcia his flowers. I thought that was fantastic. And the
Right.
fact that he acknowledged the fact that he thinks, what he thinks of Daniel Garcia, that he gave him his props and offered to have a match with him at All In at Wembley. I think that was great. Um,
Right.
and then you had Daniel Garcia speaking highly of MJF, and it was cool. I really liked it. Um, and then of course you got Will Ospreay coming down to throw shade on MJF and one up him, like you said. So I was kind of you know scratching my head with that part. It's like,
Right.
why would he do that, unless we are going to um, go the route of MJF and having a match with Will Ospreay, perhaps at their next pay-per-view. So
Mm-hmm.
that part kind of had me scratching my head a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I thought the promo, the segment was great.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with your assessment. The match was the segment was fine. And what we got out of it was is that Will Ospreay did offer his title match to Garcia, and Garcia will have that title match next Wednesday at Beach Break on Dynamite. He's gonna go after Will Ospreay. The match is gonna be fine. The match is gonna be great. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I have no issues with it whatsoever. I think this is gonna be a good show. That's gonna be a good match. Another banger from Osprey. All right. Um. mm, All right, we're up to the main event of Dynamite. It's Swerve Strickland and Osprey taking on the Gates of Agony. Damn, that pounce, man. That pounce, bruv. He sent him into. He's almost sent him in section 205, bruv.
Oh my gosh, that was just
It was just Osprey just bounced like a quarter
oh
with
god. The end
with
of that
the
match was I was not expecting that.
yeah. Will Osprey got kicked right in the face at the end of Dynamite and was knocked out. Um, Swerve
Yep.
told him don't touch the title. He told him not to touch it. He touched it and he paid for it.
Oh yeah.
He told him over and over again, don't touch the title.
Yeah, he told him
Um,
last week at Dynamite not to touch it.
he's
And
right.
it
He
went
told him.
and that was with Osprey barely just like kind of I think he just kind of like ran his hand on it or just touched it with his hand a little bit.
Right, right,
This
right.
time he went and flat out snatched it out of Swerve's hands and walked away with it. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what is he doing?
Right, right. When he took the title from Swerve, I was like, "What is he doing? You didn't
Yeah, I'm
win
like,
the
what's
title.
happening
You
right
didn't.
now?
Right. You legally can't have it. You didn't win it. So
Yeah,
you got to give it. You got to give it back. So he showed him. He told him. That's some problem with some people that they don't get the memo. When you tell them don't do A, don't do B, and don't do C,
yeah.
and when you do those things, you do get paid for it.
Mhm.
If I tell you A and you go and do B or C, then there will be consequences behind it. Um, and yeah, so he gave it to him all right. He gave it to him, and he gave it to him good. He knocked him right out in the middle of the ring. I'm sure Osprey will come to and say, "Damn, bruv, why'd you kick me in the face like that, bruv?"
Oh my god.
He almost knocked his bicuspid out, bruv.
I mean, he kicked him right in the side of the head, like right,
Yeah,
side of his
right in
face and
his
head. Like
temple, right in the
he did his
temple.
house call and his house call move. And like I said last night, I'm like, for everybody that is out there saying wrestling is fake, I'm sorry, but go ahead and watch that happen again. Like go watch a replay of it. I'm sure it's up on YouTube. That was not fake. He actually kicked Will Ospreay right in the temple. It wasn't fake. He didn't smack his leg to get that smacking sound. That was Swerve's foot connecting with Will Ospreay's head.
Right,
Like there was nothing fake about that at all.
right, right, right. Exactly.
Just oh my goodness, that was I was kind of caught off guard. I figured he was going to do something. I didn't think he was going to do that.
No,
So
I didn't think he was gonna do that either. I expect him to not do that, but he did.
I thought he was
He
going to throw
did.
a punch, smack him, something. I was not expecting that, but I thought it was a fitting end to their match. I mean, they had a great match with Gates of Agony. They worked very well together. They both
Right,
did their move set. So it was a very good showcase, and I think the same thing can be said for Gates of Agony too. Like there was good back and forth between both sides.
right,
Gates of Agony, of course, being the heels, so they were doing heel things like pulling Will Ospreay off the apron as he's waiting for Swerve to tag him in, and but yeah, I thought it was I thought it was a very good match, and I was pleasantly I wasn't surprised, I guess. That's not the right word because both Osprey and Swerve are fantastic. But it was cool to see how they interacted with one another as tag partners, in the match. So I liked that match. I thought they all did great job.
Right.
Entertainment value, I'd probably give that one. Well, I guess when you consider the kick to the head at the end, I'd probably give that a 9. I was entertained. Like, it was cool, and it added to their match they're going to have at Forbidden Door. So,
And yeah, I'm gonna be on the same wavelength as you. I'm gonna give this match a 9. And he said, don't touch that title, bruv. He
yeah,
said, don't you touch that
didn't
title.
listen. Didn't listen.
Yeah, didn't listen, and now he kicked the. There's a song that says, "Ain't that a kick in the head?" Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think I've ever heard of that before.
yes. Ain't that a kick in the? Yeah, I believe it was Frank Sinatra who sang that. I believe.
I'll have to look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. I'd say
Heard of that before.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it got a 9. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Um, Great chemistry, great nuances. That, like I said, what a way to close out Dynamite. All
Very
right. So we're gonna go to some wrestling news before we say goodnight. Chris Kaiser, the director, the executive vice president, excuse me, the executive vice president of WWE TV, has parted ways with the company. After 9 years, Kaiser joined WWE in 2015 after being with the TV Land and Spike TV. He joined and served as senior vice president of television productions. Kaiser became the EVP of WWE TV in 2021, according to the PW Insider. So Kaiser has left the WWE, and I believe Tony Khan is going to snatch this guy up and bring him on the TV side and get more production out of him. And he's going to go to WWE. So I don't have a problem with it. I
I
don't
mean,
have a problem with it.
you can have production people all you want, but when the storylines are lacking, you can
Right.
have a super highly produced television show, and if the storylines aren't there, it's not going to make a bit of difference. It's not going to matter.
Exactly. I
I mean,
agree.
that's good. That's good that they got somebody, but again, like I don't know. I just feel like Tony Khan keeps scooping up people from WWE. It's like, why?
Right.
Like, you can't find people yourself? It just, to me, it's kind of weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
He's like trying to copy WWE in so many things, and it's just, yeah, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, and he's snatching up the television production people, try to amp up the production level in
Yeah, I mean,
AEW.
he scooped up one of their writers.
Yes, he did.
Well, where have they been? Because the storylines have been seriously lacking.
Exactly. Um, I agree with the assessment.
I mean, I'm not
Um,
trying to be, and I'm not trying to be like overly negative. It's just, to me, it just is very strange.
yeah.
But hopefully they can
Um,
help. Hopefully this new production person can help.
let's see. Let's see. Okay, so Frightful Select confirms that Ricky Starks has indeed turned down some storyline ideas from AEW, including a proposed breakup and a feud with Big Bill. However, claims that he outright rejected all pitches were not sustained by a source. Some within AEW criticized Starks for not being cooperative, particularly in a relations in a storyline aimed to boost both his and Big Bill's career. Starks apparently felt that Big Bill losing to him wouldn't benefit either wrestler and prefers an amicable split, echoing the details from the original Reddit post. Um, Sarah, what do you think about that?
I don't know. Like, I definitely do not believe that Ricky Starks has turned down everything that they, every single like storyline they've presented him with.
Right,
However, it wouldn't surprise me if the storylines suck. Like, I wouldn't want to put my name on something that I have a very sneaky suspicion isn't going to work or it isn't going to be good. Like, I wouldn't want to put that forth and have
right,
that be, people look back on that and be like, man, that storyline Ricky Starks was in with Big Bill, man, that sucked. That was awful. Why would he
right.
do that? Like, I wouldn't want to put my name on something like that either. So I can't really blame him. However, then if that is the case, then they need to, again, he needs a better, Tony Khan needs to get a better writing team in there. Period.
Yeah,
Because if
exactly.
you can only use the excuse of, oh, well, so and so's not on TV because we don't have anything creatively for them. You can only use
Right,
that excuse or that reason so many times before it starts to fall on deaf ears and people just don't care anymore.
right, exactly.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they are purposely keeping Ricky Starks off TV because he doesn't, he wants to move on from AEW and go to WWE. He was very close with CM Punk, very close with Cody Rhodes. It would not surprise me one bit if that's where he ends up, if he ends up in WWE. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the true reason why we're not seeing Ricky Starks on TV is because they're purposely keeping him off of TV because he's not going to renew his contract.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think he's turned down every storyline. I don't buy that. I think that there was certain storylines that they brought to him, and he was like, no, 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 I don't want to get involved in this.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to get involved in this. Um, Wrestlers have that prerogative. They have
well,
the prerogative to turn down certain storylines that they feel um, that is not lucrative for them or that's not going to help them boost the time. You see, the reason why I'll give you an example. The reason why they're doing this with Liv Morgan, this Liv thing, the days of Liv, the reason why they're doing that, they want to make her prominent on TV because she's a champion. So, what better way to have her in the title picture or make her relevant on television is by the fact that they gave her the storyline. Which, by the way, she will defend that title against Selena Vega this Monday night on Raw from Boston. But
Zelina
uh,
Vega is winning that title. Sorry.
no, no, no. That's a no-brainer retainment right there.
Yeah.
Um, so, um, anywho, going back to Starks, um, it's it's within his prerogative. I can't talk today. I'm sorry for the tongue tied all over the place. Um, it's with his prerogative. Oh gosh, what's the word? Oh gosh, prerogative. I think it is.
Yes.
Okay, I hope
There you
I.
go. You said that
There you
right.
go. Okay, great. So it's within that. Within that is why he has a say in all the stuff. But I don't think he's turned down every storyline.
Mm-mm.
It's
No.
just that I think he's trying to figure out where he's going in this process. I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to figure out where he's going to fit in this process.
Well, I mean, look at it this way, okay? Not even like wrestling related, okay? Look at it this way. If your boss approached you and asked you to do something at work that you felt could negatively affect the future of your career, would you really want to do it? Hell no.
No,
No. I'd be telling my boss to kick rocks. Like,
right,
no, I do not feel comfortable doing that, and these are the reasons why, or I don't feel
right,
this would be a good look for myself, or it could reflect poorly on the company or whatever. Look at it that way. And it's definitely within his rights to either accept or decline any storyline. But when you do that, you should also be mentally preparing yourself for the fact that you're probably not going to be on TV a whole heck of a lot. So
right,
there's an exchange with that. But it's absolutely within his rights. He doesn't have to participate in a storyline if it's terrible or if he feels it could hurt his brand. I don't blame him.
right. Um, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like Sarah brilliantly said, you when you're at work and they tell you to do these nefarious things, you have to think about your reputation.
Yep.
You have to think about your name attached to it. And then if something goes wrong, the finger will be coming your way in your direction. Um,
What if you want to get a job in that same industry but at a different company? Is that other
right,
company going to hire you if they end up finding out about what happened? Well, if it's bad enough,
right,
they're not going. Your goose is going to be cooked in said industry, whether it's wrestling, the banking industry, whatever.
right,
Doesn't matter.
right.
So
So I'm going to disagree with the article. I don't think he turned on every storyline.
yeah, no.
I think right now he's trying to figure out where he fits in the narrative of what's happening within the AEW frame, and he's
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. And I think that's exactly what he's doing at this time, is trying to figure it out. And hopefully he will figure. Excuse me. Hopefully he will figure it out eventually, and he will come back to AEW, or as I like to call him, Mr. Kraft. Um,
Like I said, if
if
they're doing this to him now, AEW, I mean, if AEW is doing this to Ricky Starks now, I don't think this is leaving a very, good taste in his mouth.
right,
Because with the way he's being treated right now. So even if what's to say, even if they do come to him with a really, really great storyline or whatever, what's to say he's going to even want to do it after being treated poorly?
right,
People aren't going to, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. People aren't going to stick around and put up with that crap.
no,
No. I mean, and it's not like AEW is the only wrestling company you can work for. There are so many options, whether it's independent or an actual, known wrestling company. They have options. Wrestlers have options now, so you're not just stuck with WWE or just stuck with AEW. There's options now, so I'm not worried
exactly.
about Ricky Starks. We may not be seeing him on TV right now, but I think we will eventually.
I just want to let everybody know that I've been informed by YouTube that I have a brand new subscriber. And thank you so much, Rick Sanchez. Thank you so much, Rick
Oh, hey,
Sanchez, for subscribing to the
get
channel.
the chat
I
here.
greatly
Oh,
appreciate it.
and Rick
And
Sanchez made a
then,
comment.
and Rick Sanchez, what does he say, Sarah?
He said Matt Riddle would be good in AEW.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
he would. But here's the thing, Rick. Thank you so much for your comment. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And make sure you hit that like button. Um, uh, Here's the thing that I think AEW is going to have a problem if they do decide to go with Riddle. You're going to have a lot of baggage. He has a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of issues. Um, I don't know if you want that. I don't know if you want that or not.
Well,
Uh,
and you have to figure too. So many months ago, in a post pay-per-view press conference, when somebody had brought up the topic of Vince McMahon, so this was earlier this year when the Vince McMahon story broke and everything, somebody
mhm.
had asked Tony Khan a question in relation to that, and he said, he goes, I feel that AEW is the safest wrestling company out there. He didn't mean like physical safety. I think he meant like sexual harassment slash sexual abuse safety. So
Right.
a lot of people are throwing it out there that, oh, Tony Khan said that he feels his company is safe and look at all these people getting hurt. That's not what he was talking about. He meant sexual harassment slash sexual abuse safety. So with the
Mhm.
stuff that the stories and the things that Riddle has been a part of in the past, I don't know if Tony Khan would take a risk in signing Riddle and having him be a part of the roster with with the stuff that has transpired in the past. And I know it's
Right.
not like been proven in a court of law or anything, but just the fact that that stuff was brought up against him, is Tony Khan really going to want to take that bad press on? They've already got enough bad press going on as it is. So
Exactly.
I don't know if he would. I think he would be a good fit, but I don't know if Tony Khan's going to go for it. Besides, he's at New
Right.
Japan right now, so
Exactly. I don't think I think Riddle coming here would be not a good idea for Tony Khan to roll the dice. I don't know if you want to roll the dice with Riddle.
you'd have to wait a
Uh,
little bit longer, for some more time to pass for Riddle
right,
to be, further separated, from what those issues were before he
right.
could, before Tony Khan, I think, would take that leap.
So our last story of the evening is the new bloodline has been trying to dominate WWE after Roman Reigns' absence and make waves on Friday Night SmackDown. A new report suggests that the faction member is set to receive a major title shot at SummerSlam 2024. Earlier this month, Solo Sokoa clarified his intentions as he and the group attacked Cody Rhodes at the Clash of the Castle. Luckily, Orton and Kevin Owens came out to save the day and the undisputed WWE champion from the new bloodline. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, a few matches for SummerSlam are earmarked, out of which the title match for the undisputed WWE championship between the bloodlines. So Solo is getting the title shot at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes.
I have a very hard time believing what Dave Meltzer says about a lot of things because
Right,
9 times out of 10, he is dead wrong. So,
right,
how does he know that this is earmarked? Who's his source? Who is he hearing it from? Because
right,
if history is any indication to go by, whoever he's getting information from, they're terrible. They don't know anything. I think
right,
he's just
exactly.
I think he's just putting best guesses out there based on what we're seeing in the product right now. Would it make sense storyline wise for Solo to get a match against Cody at SummerSlam? Yeah, it would, because like you said, Cody was attacked by the new bloodline at Clash at the Castle, and they had
Right.
interactions and stuff on Friday last week with Jacob Fatu coming debuting. So it. I don't think it's because of a WWE source he has. I think it's him using his critical thinking skills.
Right.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
And
But
when I was reading this, Sarah, I was reading this. I had this. I wanted to sit down with you and talk about this because here's the thing. sometimes Dave Meltzer, he comes out with these things, and I sit there and I'm like, now, Uncle Dave, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know where you're getting this from. I remember one time he said something about a storyline in the WWE. I don't remember who the combatants were in the
Mhm.
storyline, but when the storyline unfolded, it's not exactly what he said would happen. It's not exactly what he said would happen. And with this, I'm gonna just take a wait and see attitude and see what the WWE does at this point. Because remember, Gunther still has the crown,
Yeah. So
Uncle Dave.
is Triple H gonna do something in relation to Randy Orton not being pinned and that being a
I
totally bad call by the ref? We gotta wait and see if
right,
that's gonna play out. I mean,
right.
we got a month. We
Um,
got a whole month till SummerSlam. So
exactly. And we got the money in the bank to deal with next Saturday. So
yep.
all of that needs to be dealt with before we can even put the cart before the SummerSlam horse. Um, and the matches have not even been rolled out yet. So what I'm saying to you, Uncle Dave, is like know what's going on before you even open your trap.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
All right. All right. Before we say that, I forgot I had one more thing to talk about. Um, According to reports on Fightful Select, Rhea Ripley has opted to undergo shoulder rehab instead of surgery. Due to this, she may not make it back early as expected. With that being said, several preparations have been made so that Rhea return when she's needed. Also possible that she could return in a non-wrestling capacity if creative decides to go with that route. While Rhea is expected to continue her feud with Liv Morgan when she returns, specific story available at the time of her return will determine her creative direction. Finally, it's been added that she will make an on-screen appearance in some capacity before SummerSlam. So it looks like Rhea is on her way back to the WWE. She didn't want to get the shoulder surgery. She decided not to do it. She decided to go with the rehab instead. Um, will, will we see her before SummerSlam? I don't know.
Did you see, I saw a story yesterday. She got married.
Oh.
She got married to Buddy Matthews. That was all over. It was all over the internet yesterday.
Oh yes, I think I did see that. Yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I did see that yesterday.
So,
So I'm going to assume we probably won't see her until after SummerSlam. That's what I'm going to say.
well, it's like I figure if she was going to have surgery, they would have done it already. They're not going to
Right,
have a rehab for what she's been gone for over a month. They're not going to have a rehab for a month and then do surgery. That's not going to happen. If it was
right,
severe enough, they would have done surgery as soon as they could, like they did with Punk, like they did
yeah,
with Cody. Like they are going to do surgery as soon as possible. They're not going to
yeah,
make someone sit an athlete nonetheless. They're not going to make them go and do a bunch of rehab first and then do the surgery. That's not going to happen.
right, right,
So it makes sense that she's rehabbing, but again, it all depends on how quickly she heals and how well her rehab, physical therapy is going to determine when she's going to come back. So it's like I'm not putting any weight on when she's going to come back. If she's going to come back before or after SummerSlam, she comes back when she comes back, you know.
right.
And if she is cleared to at least be on television, I'm hopeful that they're going to treat it the same way they did her, the feud with Punk and Drew McIntyre, because Punk hasn't been back to wrestle yet, but they have. Oh man, that is the feud of the year so far.
Oh my
They've
gosh, yes.
That storyline, oh my goodness, the back and forth online, the back and forth on screen, like it's been awesome. So I have a sneaky suspicion, and I'm very hopeful that they treat Rhea Ripley, they treat her feud with Liv Morgan the same way they've treated Punk and Drew McIntyre. So, yeah.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna go with that. Like I said, it's a wait and see attitude with Rhea. I'm not gonna pull the gun on it and say when she's gonna. Like Sarah said, I'm not gonna pull a gun on it, and I'm not gonna say when she's coming back or what she's gonna come back with, and how she's gonna come back and what she's gonna do. We have to wait and see what happens.
But it wouldn't surprise me though, because I'm sure she knows what's going on. I'm sure she is watching Raw. She's going to see
No.
everything that Liv is doing with Judgment Day and stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if when she is ready to at least be back on television, that she starts screwing with Liv. And
Well, yeah,
the members
well,
of Judgment Day that turned their backs on her.
Yep. That is exactly what they were talking about there in that article. They're saying that the minute she comes back, she is going to dance with Liv, and she's going to get revenge on Liv because Liv has been like dabbling with her dom dom, or as or as Selena Vega would say, your sloppy seconds.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. Like,
sloppy seconds.
I don't know. I'm not into the whole Liv thing. I don't understand everybody's fascination with her. She's another woman that everybody's saying, oh, she's the greatest of all time. Give me a freaking break. No, she most definitely is not. If you're a fan of Liv Morgan, more power to you. That's fine. She is definitely not my cup of tea at all in any way, shape, or form. She's another one I feel who she thinks she's better than she really is.
Yep. And like I said, she's doing all of this. She's doing all this stuff that Liv Morgan is doing right now on Raw. She's getting back at Rhea Ripley. She's getting back at Rhea Ripley because of what Rhea Ripley did in this revenge tour thing. So this is what Liv is doing. It's down with Liv. It's down with Liv, and that's what Liv is doing. So that is going to do it for the wrestling experience. That is it. That is it. We have given you everything in our kitchen, and now it's time for me and Sarah to take our aprons off and put the dishes away after we fed you for 2 hours and 36 minutes. So thank you so much.
I'm ready for bed, man. I am tired.
Me and Sarah are done for each other for this week. But Sarah, first of all, unfortunately I won't be able to catch your broadcast tomorrow night because I'll be inside Madison Square Garden. But I want to wish you a great broadcast tomorrow night with London on SmackDown. You're going to rock it as always. You're going to be fine. You're going to hit a home run as always because you always are a darling. And you're so forthright, and I absolutely love working with you.
I'm excited to get to work with London. It's going to be our first time doing a show together, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, London is funny. He is passionate. You're going to have a lot of fun with him, I guarantee. He doesn't have Earlisms, but he has Londonisms, and you'll figure that out tomorrow night. Yeah, have fun with London. So I want to wish you the best of luck with that telecast. And we're gonna have fun. You're welcome. And we're gonna have fun inside Madison Square Garden. It is a sold out show. It is 19,295 have sold out Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. 19,000 people will jam Madison.
Tickets or something?
Huh?
I said, did they have to open up more tickets or something?
This afternoon they did, and it went in 1 hour. Yes, so Madison Square Garden is full. they are full to capacity. So
Oh.
19,297 F sold out Madison Square Garden. I'm sure the WWE will make it less than what I said, but that's okay. That's fine. It's still a big audience. It's still a huge
No,
audience. It's a,
that crowd is going to be on fire. Like
yeah.
whenever WWE has been in Madison Square Garden, the crowd has always showed up for sure. It's
Oh
gonna be
yes, that.
loud tomorrow, and
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
yeah. I'm gonna be showing you all pictures and sneak peeks inside Madison Square Garden. It'll be my 201 appearance inside Madison Square Garden, and it will be my final telecast, my final wrestling show of 2024. I cannot wait to get to Madison Square Garden. It's gonna be a fun night. We're gonna get crunk inside Madison Square Garden. We're gonna get crunk inside the garden. Yeah. Oh, you want to do what?
Oh my goodness gracious! That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Instead of Little John, we'll start calling you Little Earl, Little E.
You want to do what? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I love it.
Oh my goodness gracious, that was great.
So, anywho, we're going to have fun tomorrow night inside Madison Square Garden. We hope that you'll tune in tomorrow's telecast. Sarah and London will carry the SmackDown telecast, and we hope that you give them the love and the subs and give them and show them the proper love and support them. It's going to be a great telecast. Now, I'm going to be back in cyberspace again on Monday night with Monday Night Raw. And me and Sarah will return together next Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. It'll be Dynamite Plus. We're going to give you the Money in the Bank predictions, all rolled into one show. That is next Wednesday night. So, Sarah, I want to wish you a very happy weekend. I want to wish you a very happy stream tomorrow night. And I will see you again on Wednesday night. And I'll be back, like I said, in cyberspace on Monday night. So everyone, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back again someday soon on Monday night from Boston. Beantown. We're going to Beantown. Me in London will bring you baked beans and Franks and everything else in Boston.
Did you really say he got hit in the beans and the Frank?
Yes, and I can actually say he got hit in the beans and the Franks, yes. Or the Boston, or he got hit in the Boston Tea Party. Anyway, that's it for the wrestling experience. Good night.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the wrestling experience. Now with your host Earl Cole.